An opening that you'll see all the time in chess is the Queen's Gambit. So it's pawn to d4, pawn to d5, pawn to c4. Since the Queen's Gambit is a very common opening, you definitely want to have a few tricks up your sleeve on how to defend and attack against it. So in this video, you're going to discover the Lasker trap. And that's off the Albin Countergambit right here. So your next move would be pawn to e5. Okay, and likely they're not going to take this piece because then your queen could come up here, and then if the pawn captures, you take the queen. Okay, so they're likely going to take this piece right here. So next move is to push forward. So what white is hoping you'll do is take the pawn. So the queen can come down, check the king, and then the bishop covers. So leaving the king wide open, this king can eventually castle to safety on this side. They can bring the rook down here. The bishops are already developed. You got a pawn pushing forward. So a very, very good position. So rather than take the pawn like white wants us to, we're going to execute the Lasker trap, which is bishop to b4 and put the king in check. White's likely to block the check with his bishop and simultaneously threatening to take black's bishop at the same time. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the pawn at e3, and white's likely to take the bishop. And if they take the bishop, that's a critical mistake. White takes our bishop on b4, and we put the king in check with pawn to f2. Now, if the king takes the pawn, we take the queen, and the game's pretty much over. So really their best move and their only move at this point is to move right there. We're going to go ahead and take the knight, and rather than promote to a queen, we're going to promote our pawn to a knight. So it immediately checks the king. If the rook takes the knight, we put the king in check, and we have the queen the very next move. If it moves here, you have the queen. So the queen is a goner no matter what. And if they don't take the knight, the king likely moves back. The queen puts the king in check. And there's a couple options here. If they block the check with pawn to g3, we move over to e4 and put the king in check and take the rook and continue dominating.
So if your opponent doesn't block with the pawn, the only other option is for the king to move to d7.
Notice how wide open the king is. He has no defenses. He is just in trouble. So we move our knight out here, threatening to take the bishop. And really what we're doing, it doesn't really matter what they do from this point. If they take this, if they move their bishop, if they put protection, we're really getting our bishop out here where you can castle. Really from this point, it's over. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel because we're going to be releasing a ton of valuable videos packed full of chess tips, tricks, and tactics that you are going to love. And they're all free. We're going to be releasing secret strategies and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.